tires are quite fatty so that it has more friction with the road.
I'm against the headwind, but still getting 31 miles an hour.
This could be the best brakes I've got on any bike, really.
The Himiway is using Samsung cells.
Dude, this thing's killing it.
Now, if we go to the battery power, the Rad Rover says up to 45 miles per charge, and we know it's a 14 amp hour battery. The Himiway claims 35 to 60 miles per charge, that's their estimate, and they have a larger 17.5 amp hour battery. Basically what it comes down to, if you were riding these bikes side by side, same terrain, same speed, similar weight rider, the Himiway is going to go further every single time. It just has more battery capacity, and there's no way around that. I should point out that Himiway is using Samsung cells, so even though the battery's bigger, it's not like they cut cost by using a cheap battery. It looks to be good quality as far as I can tell.
One battery, how far do you go? And it's a super, super difficult question to answer because it's going to vary wildly. There is a ton of factors that factor into that. You got things like, what's the size of the battery, of course? What's the weight of the bike? What's the weight of the rider? You know, what kind of tires are on it? What kind of tire pressure are you running? What terrain are you on? What's the weather? What kind of cells are in the battery? Is it windy? Is it hilly? The list goes on. There's a ton of factors that are going to increase or decrease that range. Now let me tell you how I did these tests. So, as I already stated, no pedaling. I went out and found a nice long loop to ride. All bikes were tested in the same area. It was all pavement riding. There was no off-road riding at all. I set all the tire pressures the same. They were all at 24 PSI. I rode the same loop. I found a nice neighborhood with a really long decline into an uphill, and I did that a whole bunch until I killed through a lot of the battery. And then I also found a long straight stretch, about a mile long, where I just kept buzzing back and forth, killing battery that way too. So you got a good mixture of riding on flat ground, riding on inclines, and I pretty much did not pedal at all. Absolutely no pedaling, throttle only. I rode these like a scooter, just trying to kill through the battery as fast as I possibly could and see what the worst range was. Not bad, 27, 28 miles an hour with no pedaling. It's pretty quick. All right, so we finally got the battery to go down 1 bar, and we're at 9.5 miles right now. But when you get on a flat road like this, it'll still, I mean, we're still going 27 miles an hour. So I'm gonna stop at this stop sign here and get off the bike, because I've been relentless on this throttle for the last 20 miles. And I wanna see if it's hot. All right, let's get my hand in here. Okay, so I'm going to classify, you know, you've got it cold, warm, very warm, and hot. I would say that this is barely warm. I mean, it's just getting warm, which is shocking. I thought running it flat out like that would just heat it right up and maybe overheat it, but it is not even close to being very warm. It's barely warm right now. We're over 26 miles on this battery, and it's still carrying me 23 miles an hour. All right, well, we have reached the end. Here's the final number. 28.5 miles it took to run this thing down. That is impressive.
If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message in the comment section or stop by our website at www.himiwaybike.com. Until next time, stay safe and happy riding.